Welcome to Inner Voice of Knowing podcast. I'm Kaye Doran, a shamanic leadership coach and healer, guiding you through life with a foot in both worlds. When you understand the terrain of the inner landscapes, the mental, emotional, spiritual and energetic, you will become the leader within your physical life, both personally and professionally. After all, the power of change is in your hands. Let's get this journey started. Welcome back to Inner Voice of Knowing. This is a really important episode because nobody can deny what's going on in the world right now. And I'm seeing it more and more impacting those around us. So we need to become even more diligent on our energy well-being, if you like. Because when we keep our energy clear, we're keeping our mindsets clear, our emotional bodies clear, and we're staying in alignment and in a deeper connection to the power of our inner voice of knowing, power and potential. Really listening to that strong inner guidance. So what am I talking about? Well, energy is everything and everything is energy. You would have heard me say that before. So right now there's a lot of chaotic, dense, dark energy playing out. I call it the Great Reveal. And the Great Reveal really is a very exciting time. It may not feel like it. It will invoke fears, doubts, insecurities, and will be very sneaky at catching us unaware. So now more than ever, understanding the energy beings that we are and how energy actually influences is an absolute priority so that you don't get sucked down that dark rabbit hole of illusion and of density. Nobody wants that. More than ever before, it is time to really anchor in to the inner voice of knowing, power and potential that exists within you. Now, more than ever, it's important to be doing that inner work, to develop that leadership, as I would say, from the inside out. Because we're not just in a life of business, we're also in the business of life, first and foremost. And no area of our lives can be separated. They're all driven, directed, and ruled by what's happening within us. So with so much dense energy that's around, with the great reveal of what is unfolding, your curiosity and your humanness is going to want to follow and watch and listen. But I invite you to say, through my shamanic lens, limit it. Limit it. It is now a bunker down, strengthen yourself from the core in order to emanate a more powerful presence. We need to be looking inside of ourselves where those hidden aspects of our own shadows are calling out to also be brought forth into the light with conscious awareness. From my shamanic lens, there is no war. It's not a war of light versus dark. We all come from the one source. This is a reveal. The mass shadow reflected from the shadows, even in the depths of within ourselves, of our very beings, is being called out and having the light, like a massive spotlight, shining on it. And if we spend too much time, it's going to hook in and grab hold and start to feed off any doubts, any insecurities, any judgments that we ourselves hold of anything within us that as yet has been unaddressed. So we want to be perfectly clear on what our thoughts are, on what our emotions and feelings are, of what the barometer of the body coming from the soul is saying to us, not impacted and influenced and manipulated by other energies. It's a deep stance into taking deeper, further responsibility, embedding ourselves down like the root system of a tree, going down deeper and spreading out further to create great stability within ourselves, to hold firm. And as one does that, and the many collect in that, we will ride through this great reveal and this transition. But we'll do it from a deep sense of knowing and participation. And whenever we sit back and we get so immersed in the unfolding and we miss seeing how perfect everything is, even when we don't fully understand it, the oneness of everything that's taking place, the projections of what's coming within. Source is saying, here's an even deeper time to self-reflect on judgments that you hold. Here's a powerful time, an incredible mirror held up to say, where do we still hold judgments? Where do we still have false stories and beliefs about divisions, about one thing opposing another? Or, like the lighthouse, firm, still, radiating, regardless of the weather around it, unshaken, unmoved, but still keeps showing the boats the way, still keeps highlighting the path to land. So this is a powerful time, and the more that we don't question what within me is trying to reveal itself, what conflict within me is trying to reveal itself, what false stories and beliefs sitting in the depths of my unconscious subconscious is trying to reveal itself and needing to come into my conscious awareness. You see, trickery is very clever, and the trickster is afoot at the moment. And Source is inviting us back, that inner voice of knowing, power and potential, of source, of soul, of successful self is calling us back in deeper, to deepen our self-reflection, to remember that when we point one finger out, we've got three coming back into us, to clear out the debris like mud at the bottom of the pond where the seed of the lotus makes its way through into the clarity and then blooms. That too is the journey through our energetic system. And the crown chakra being that 1,000-petaled lotus. We're being asked to go back down into that base chakra and to gather the aspects of ourself through each center that need the reclamation, the remembering, the integration. Now, we're never going to be completely rid of our shadow. There's always more to uncover, to unmask, like the night and the day. But remember, it's about bringing that love, that compassion, that understanding and that forgiveness, and seeing more wholly how we play out, more completely how our life plays out from that shamanic or spiritual, energetic perspective. Okay, So asking the power questions and turning our vision inwards. Yes, you want to be aware and looking at what's taking place, but do not get caught, because if you get caught, it's going to activate those judgments, those divisions, an us versus them mentality, which keeps the split rather than the remembering of the complete, cohesive, complete oneness. And when our vision gets too far outwards, we create openings through our judgments, through our false stories and beliefs, through our criticisms, through our fears. If we entertain them for too long, denser energies will do what their very nature says to do. They will come and feast on the energies that they feast on. They will create a hook in to hold us in a heavier state than the true state of the potential that is before us, within us, and around us currently at this time. To dim the light of our deepest and truest soulful authenticity. So we need to be self-inquisitive, curious about how we create the deeper level of change within ourselves, and therefore have that emanated out like a ripple effect into the collective. Not to jump in the murky pool of the collective. Not to be fissured in our energetic field for lower beings to come in and feed, anchoring us not into our light, but into our illusions. And remember, the truth is beyond the shadow of the belief system. So that's stage 1 and stage 2. Be informed, but don't be immersed in the information. Be self-inquiring, asking yourself those deeper power questions. In fact, asking your soul and source. Go directly to the source. What is it that I am not yet understanding or seeing about myself? Seeking greater clarity, seeking truth beyond the shadow of our own belief systems. Building strength and stability from the inside out. And then we need to look at what's taking place in our lives and choose the energies that we anchor into. Double down on the practices that keep you connected. Go to my website, the homepage, and download the process to defuse your fears and boost your confidence. I myself did this one this morning. I woke up early. Fears were not great and overwhelming. Don't wait for them to take such a hold. There was a niggle. So I did my own practice. I did these are my fears. They're not my truth. Name them to claim them. Face them to diffuse them. There's a particular 3-step process, and it's free. Homepage of my website. Be round nature. Don't get caught only on technology, closed-in walls, no natural light. Breathe in beauty that's around you. I've talked about all of these before. None of these take a lot of time. I defused your fears 5 minutes this morning, and I was done and defused. Breathing in beauty when you're just walking around. Cutting your cords, cleansing yourself, smudging. checking if your energy is actually too far out or too contracted within. Listening to things that inspire and feed truth. Connecting with nature, listening to the bird songs, anchoring, putting your hand upon trees. If you don't want people to think you're weird, pretend you're stretching out your leg muscle and connect and call on the strength of the natural elements around you. Call on the strength of earth to ground you. Call on the strength of air to keep your thoughts light and aligned. Positive, if you will. All the elements feeding into your certainty, your knowing, your inner voice of knowing. Water for emotional flow and stability. Fire to burn away that which no longer serves you. The energy above, of the masculine, of the father, of the protector, and the energy below, of the supporter and of the nurturer. So all 6 directions. These shamanic principles are simple yet profound. And that's the way that it should be. Remember your connected breathing. Breathing down into the belly and breathing the stagnant energy out. Doing your gratitudes. And then the next level is as you keep yourself steadfast, aligned, and clear, because you want to be in the heart-brain coherence and sending the message out, not having the outward message being sent to you. Be the broadcaster, not broadcasted to, is another way to put it. Be the influencer, not influenced. Be the presence of centeredness, of stability, of certainty, of heart, mind, coherence, a harmonic resonance that resonates out far beyond your imagination could comprehend. It's a choice. Remember, the power of choice is in your hands, just as the power of change is in your hands. It's your responsibility, nobody else's. Now, as we move into that, there will be triggers activated within us by what others are saying, what we're hearing, by what others are doing, because a deeper calling for clearing is at hand. Now, we have the human element where we will look at things from trauma perspectives, from past perspectives, as in childhood, and how it's influenced us and patterned us and programmed us. And those patterns get activated by something external, what someone does or what someone says. But the responsibility lies within us. But here's the thing. Some patterns are being called to clear, and it's not just from your childhood or from life's traumas in this life as you understand it to be. What people term past lives, you would have heard me say this before, are actually overlaid lifetimes. It's all in one, multiple layers of overlay. Just like I say, the source that overlays the soul, that overlays the success self. Okay? So you've got this lifetime that is your canvas that you are projecting out the movie into the screen called your life that you are perceiving right now. But there are what others would term other lifetimes taking place now, being called out to be brought into conscious awareness, out from the shadows too, if you will, into your conscious awareness. So if you've been experiencing repetitive patterns and you're going, it doesn't matter what I'm doing, it doesn't matter how much I'm healing this pattern keeps coming back around. So again, the power and the importance of asking the questions directly to source. What is it taking place within me that I've not yet been willing or able to see? And the answer will come. I'm watching this take place with a lot of clients of mine, healing clients and coaching clients, and I've recently gone through this myself as well. The answer will not necessarily come when you are demanding it. It will come when you already have given thanks, knowing that it will land. And when it lands, it is a whole-bodied experience, a complete shift. And there might be others that are party to this same karmic pattern. Because I'd like you to understand this, and even if you've heard this before, really feel into it, let it settle and understand this. We sat round as souls, I like to call it the conference table, and we made agreements with everybody. Everybody, will you please come in and play this pattern with me? Will you please come in and do this and say this and be like this to me for my growth? So that there are strong karmic patterns playing out within relationships, amplified by this great reveal, that are now ready to be dissolved, to be understood through the lenses of love, through the lens of compassion, through the lens of understanding, and through the lens of forgiveness. And not to bring judgment to another soul that has played that part for you. In fact, when my realization came of a particular pattern, that it doesn't matter what changes are made, this pattern will still play out. I can change how I'm responding or how I'm feeling about it, but the depth of understanding to be released from it is, in many cases, the understanding of the soul's patterning, the soul's karmic patterning in how many lifetimes it's played out. And right now is the time for us to bring some awareness or have awareness sparked within us, because it contains a big force of our soul power. Everything we bring awareness to is a reclamation, a reclaiming, and a reintegration of energy being remembered back into its wholeness. And everything we do in altering our thoughts and our emotional patterning and our physical bodies, therefore our energetic, is to be the vessels to receive and remember and have it reintegrated into our awareness, restored, if you will. So when you uncover some karmic pattern, and there have been elements in another that you have been bringing judgment to, criticism, you've felt has been cruel or unkind, or closed and cold, don't walk away till you know that you have asked the questions around karmic. Because during this time of great trickery, many are going to feel that they must leave. And your knowing won't be 100% certain and whole-bodied and experienced unless you have explored this. Because if you don't explore it, you will cross paths with someone else that at first seems different but brings you the same learning. But if your patterning is with this soul, it might very well be that when the pattern is recognized and you bring love to them, how do you bring love to somebody you feel has hurt you or been closed off to you or been cold or said unkind things? You bring love because at that soul level, they agreed to play this out for this grand game called your life. You bring compassion for the pain and the hurt of what they've been going through, playing these parts for you and for themselves. The understanding is understanding at the depths of what was taking place and why and how it was there to serve you. And the understanding of any pains and difficulties that person has possibly been going through with a lack of self-awareness. And therefore, a forgiveness in order to release yourself free and to release that whole lineage of patterning, a whole lifetimes or overlays of patterning. Because sometimes that's why we come together. And then to give that to yourself for what you've reflected back to them. Going through that process of loving self, because you too have just been a soul playing some pattern out, responding from lifetimes or overlays of rehearsed, remembered, unconsciously patterns and behaviours, the resentments that you've held that go way beyond however many years you've been with somebody, whether it be a friend or a lifetime partner. This is all being called for us to peer into, for us to inquire into. Because the minute you change that energy in this way for yourself, you change that energy and that patterning and that story also for the other. Because you open energetically into a deeper place, space, expression of love. True oneness and understanding of the interconnectedness of everything. So right now is not the time to make big, massive decisions with what's going on energetically through my shamanic lens. Now is the time to embed yourself into your practices, to do energetic maintenance and care. And when I say energetic maintenance and care, that's caring for the ways that you think, the false stories and beliefs called out for what they are, so that you can feel, to listen to the language of what your thoughts, your emotions, your body and your energy is telling you, to listen to the reflections globally and individually within your life right now, and to see what's amiss within ourselves, to ask the deep questions for all illusion to be revealed. Remembering Oneness is our home we're returning to. Not fighting, not judgment, not us versus them. Oneness. That there are deeper meanings in everything that's happening for you personally and globally. And how much faith, certainty, and inner knowing are you going to hold firm to? Because now is the great test when we recognise the great trickery and the great reveal. Food for thought, looking through my shamanic lens, sharing from my heart, seeking truth, speaking truth, and settling into a sense of inner safety is where I invite you. It's nothing to be afraid of. Remember, the screen of your life is reflected back to you through the experiences before you, the reactions within you, and the choices you choose to align with and action. Blessings to you. Join me on my next episode, and if you love this podcast, please subscribe by clicking on the plus button if you're on Apple, or like and follow on Spotify. Rate and review, and please share Inner Voice of Knowing with your friends.